How are you today? Welcome to today's episode where we will talk about how you can have a less stressful holiday, how you can have a truly Merry Christmas, which includes you too, your rest, your joy. And I swear it's not about you have to leave your family behind or you have to simply just escape the country if you don't want to. It's really going to be more about think about why we feel so stressful, why we feel even more stressful when the holiday period comes up. And then I'll tell you more how you can ease that stress, how you can just really drop what is the preconditioning in our brain that we have to do it all, we have to do it perfectly, we have to be the magical Santa, we have to be this person who really creates the magic. And if we fall short, then oh my God, we are just terrible. I'm not good enough, mom. I couldn't create that perfect experience for my child, for my family. So let's crush it all. As you know, this is not a practical podcast. I'm not going to tell you this is the 10 ways how you decorate the whatever things. This is definitely what we do here. What I want is really to have you on board with me to have the awareness what we do for the holiday, during the holiday, and also like choose what you want to keep, what you want to do, and be okay with changing things up. Be okay with just lighten the load. Be okay with really being the good enough mother who is a human and who cannot do it all alone. The magical Santa and everything else. So personally, I really love Christmas. I don't know what is your experience. I love Christmas. I hate the cold, I hate the dark, but when it comes to the lights and this magical Christmas period, I really love it. And as a child, I never really got huge presents. It was not about the decorations. It was never about like how perfect the tree or how perfect anything was around the holiday. But I really have so many amazing and great memories, like small things that we are singing around the Christmas tree, that my grandpa was using this little bell and like he was hiding in the garden in the dark and he was just like clinging this little bell like tingling tingling and that was the sign that the angels just flown away and we can enter the living room. So these really small memories make it really sweet, and I want to create the same for my kids. And I know that the pressure is more and more when you look around on social media, and we will talk about it, but like just think about how much it is on us already starting from October in the shopping malls and on social media and really everywhere to buy, to make it perfect, to have it perfect, the perfect and bigger decoration. And it became a competition, how many presents you buy to the kids, how fancy the decoration is, how early you start decorating the whole house. And if it's your jam, do it, obviously. I don't want to hinder anything here. What I want with this episode is to give you the permission to really like, if you want to change up things, if you want to let go of certain things, then yeah, give yourself the permission to do so, because I have these amazing memories from my childhood, and definitely they don't include, fancy and big and huge and whatever. It is more about the presence. It is more about the little things that made it really magical and really an amazing festive experience for all. And this is what I want to create also for my kids. So when it comes to what to buy and how to prepare, I really remind myself on all these things that as an adult, what do I really now remember? And I really try also to constrain myself and really pick the ones that I want to keep in this festive preparation and also during the holidays. And what I think it would just, it makes no sense. It would just add to my stress. It would just add something to my to-do list. But do we really need that? No. So let's start with what are the three things that I think are really contributing to the fact that so many of us and so many mothers can feel super stressful, even more stressful than usual when the holiday period is coming, when Christmas is coming up. And because Christmas is coming up, I really wanted to record this episode on time before Christmas so you can really like have the awareness what it is it for you. And then I encourage you to shake up things the way that you want so you can really have a less stressful and more joyful experience. So the number one on this list of three why mothers feel more stressful, even more stressful during the Christmas holiday period is because the mental load increases even more. Think about, we talk about, and I wrote also a blog post about the invisible load, the mental load mothers carry every day. Now, it really like multiplies because it's all about the present, all about the preparation. It is all about, family gatherings and maybe buying tickets if you go somewhere and then buying presents. Who do you buy the presents? Like you are this project manager of the holiday and also the cooking, the preparation, you have everything at home, like intensifies, which was already kind of big enough and huge enough. And the mental load was already weighing you down. Now it increases. Number two is unrealistic expectations. Like, as I said in the beginning, it becomes a little bit crazy when I look around. It's like, matching PGs, pictures right before Christmas, how you decorate, what you decorate so you have a Pinterest birth home. Changing the decoration. Obviously, you need new for this year or new theme or new colors or like whatever. And when you see this Pinterest perfect homes and decoration and Insta perfect couples and families in matching PGs and also all the pressure that's coming up with the Christmas celebration itself, it is just easy to feel like, oh, if I do less than that, than those, then somehow I'm falling behind. I'm not doing enough. I'm not providing enough and enough magic to my kids, to my family. And obviously, it's not true. It is just a thought. It is really up to you to decide how you want to prepare for Christmas. It is really up to you how you want to celebrate Christmas. It is really up to you to define what you want this to look like. If you want to have the matching PGs, if you want to have the photo shoot, do it, obviously. This episode is not about like ripping you from the experience what you love. It is about like having the awareness that you are choosing those based on what you want, not based on, fear of missing out or this pressure, this social pressure that you should. Do it based on that you want to. Number three, which is like definitely contributing that mothers can feel so much more stressful during the holidays, is that the reality is that the holiday period, when the holiday period comes up, it also means that the kids are home or anyhow you have the newborn, like the newborn or the little baby doesn't really like make difference whether it's holiday or not. You have to feed, you have to change, you have to do all the things. And like somehow the self-care and your self-time just vanishes. Like you have this complete feeling of loss of self-care and self-time because on the top of what you've been already doing, now you have a bunch of other things to do. And and if you have, school age kids, then the kids are at home or additional family visits. Either you are going somewhere or family and relatives are coming to your home. And it feels like you literally don't have a minute to yourself. And obviously, Like I don't have to explain myself. Obviously, when you don't have a time to breathe, when you don't have a moment to yourself, your stress just increases and you are in this alert mode where you have no downtime to just rest, to just recharge, to just literally have a break from it all. And and obviously it contributes that your stress increased. And I just want you to see that all of these are optional. All of these are optional. And I'll go now in a minute into the solution phase, like what I invite you to consider the three ways you can make your holiday less stressful and more joyful for yourself. Because I want you to see that all of these are optional. You have a say here. You can change things up. You're not going to be less of a good mother if you delegate some things, if you delete or let go of some things, if you change the family tradition and you create family tradition based on what you think is the best for you and for your family, not based on what the expectations are. So I want you to know, before we go into the three ways of solution, I want you to know that the human brain is really conditioned right from the birth. So think about how the women brains are conditioned, like for a very, very long time, we have been conditioned to this, to serve others. Our worth is connected, tied to how much we are doing, how well we are serving others. And when it comes to the holiday, it can feel like you turn into this project manager of the holiday, buying presents for everybody, preparing everything, being also the emotional, manager who is managing everything, not just the thoughts, but also the emotions, and creating the magic and this magical experience. And all of those things are really great if you do it on purpose and with that self love and self consideration that you can burn out in it if you don't do it in a way that is serving you too, that is including you too, that gives you the opportunity to have a moment, to have a little bit of rest, to not overdo it, but really do it based on what you want. So I want you to know that the human brain is conditioned, like we are conditioned since birth. And as women, we are conditioned to serve. We women are also conditioned to be the good girls, to follow the rules. That's why definitely I'm going to talk about that later in a different episode. But when it comes to the holiday, just check in with yourself that when you want to do something, is it because you really want to have that in your holiday? You really want to have that in the tradition, in the family tradition? Or is it rather something that you feel like you should? You should because others are doing. You should because otherwise you don't create the whatever perfect image of Christmas magic for your kids. So the three ways that I want to invite you to consider that here are really these three ways I can help you with before the Christmas so you can have a less stressful holiday is number one, saying no. Saying no is fine. Saying no is completely okay. Saying no doesn't mean that you are rude. Saying no doesn't mean that you have to have huge family conflicts. Saying no really is about protecting your space, protecting what you want, and also your time. Think about if you want to have a calm holiday, you can say no to gatherings, you can say no to relatives. It's another question if you have a hard time saying no because your conditioning of the good girl to saying yes and obeying is way too strong. Definitely then come to me for a change session and we have to rewire that in your brain. But I just want you to consider that saying no is completely fine and okay. It also comes with setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is not about that you are manipulating others, that you are telling to your parents-in-law what they can do or what they cannot. That's not setting boundaries. I'll definitely record a separate episode just about setting boundaries because there's a lot of misunderstanding here. Setting boundaries is really about what you want and protecting that space from this queen energy, what you tolerate and what you don't. When it comes to, for example, let me give you a very specific example. When it comes to your baby, it is your say what others can do with the baby or not. Like if you don't feel comfortable with other relatives hugging or kissing, whatever your baby, then you can say that. You can take the baby and you can say, like, sorry, I really don't want my baby to catch anything in this cold season. So please stop. If you are not going to stop, if you keep kissing, then I might just take my baby away. That is setting a boundary. It can be coming really from love. It is not coming from the conflict. It is really coming from love that you have a say there. And it is true for the family gatherings too. You can say no if it's really too much, if it's overloading, if it's like, I don't want to because it's going to screw up our routine and my little one, it really needs to sleep. And this is exactly, they want us to go exactly in their nap time. That's completely fine to say no. The number two, it is really that lighten that load. This is what I started with, that the number one thing that why so many mothers feel more stressful is because the mental load really intensifies. So what can you share? What can you ask your partner to do? What can you prepare or what can you just completely let go? Like lighten the load in a way that really you do the things that you want to and not coming from the should, from the Insta Pinterest perfect, whatever pictures. And then remind yourself that you don't have to do it all alone. You can share it. You can ask your partner to help, very specifically communicate what exactly you want. And then number two, like you don't have to do it all at all. Just check in with that list, what you prepare to do, what you plan to do, and then check in with yourself whether you really want to keep them or not. Based on what we talked about, based on that, you don't have to do anything you don't want to. You can create your own family traditions based on how you want to celebrate the holidays, how you want to celebrate Christmas. And number three, this is the final, is protect your time and energy. You cannot do it like 24/7 before the holiday and preparing and during the holiday and be this magic person who is creating the magic while is smiling and doing everything perfectly while you are running on fumes. Like you need to protect your time and energy. And we come back to however it is viable for you, however you want and can do so. You can literally ask your partner to take the kids out while you have 30 minutes to yourself and you meditate or you dance around or you just have a book to yourself. Because what I see so many times happening is that we have this expectation towards ourselves that I cannot now sit down because I have so many other things to do. And it really becomes this doing. And like we are falling under the Christmas tree when it comes to the day of celebrating Christmas. What if you can totally rest without guilt? You can totally take the time just to have a little bit of break. You can totally have that. Nothing's going to explode. And if there are going to be one less cake or something, that's totally fine. Like, really protect your time and energy because you cannot just run on fumes and creating this magical experience while inside you are just burning out and getting more and more and more exhausted. You can create this magic, this loving, really amazing Christmas experience for you and for your family when you also take care of yourself and you don't try to overdo it, like overdo everything while expecting yourself to have a smile on your face and still create and live the magic. I think I was on time with this before Christmas. Hopefully, you are not yet stressed out way too much. I really want you to consider that Christmas can be a holiday season, a holiday where you really just have this moment where you can connect with your family, with who you want to connect with, and you can drop the expectations that are coming from how it should look like, how you should celebrate, what else, what more you should do. Because when it comes to should, always check in with yourself, with your own thoughts. When it comes from should, when it comes from really you want to do a certain tradition, you want to do a certain task, it feels light. It feels good in your body. When you feel the stress rising, when you feel your stomach like it would be a little tennis ball and you really feel this shrinking feeling in your body and the tension, that is a sign that you are shooting yourself. You're pressuring yourself into doing things. And I just want really to have this episode out before Christmas. So you check in with yourself and you give yourself the permission to do less, to shake things up, to change things if you want to, and also include yourself into the preparation and into really the celebration, how you want the celebration to look like. And definitely, as a reminder, it definitely includes you to enjoy it in a way that you have a little bit of downtime, you have a little bit of break, you have it your way, and then you're going to have a less stressful holiday. I'm so grateful that you listened to me today too. I can't wait to hear from you. So you can email me. The email is on my website, or you can just leave a review. I cannot wait to really hear from you how your holiday went. And Merry Christmas. And don't forget that you are an amazing, good enough mother already. Talk to you next time. Bye.